Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're going to do something a little bit different today. I know we usually have videos on screen, but I couldn't find a way to fit my camera in all this mess that you're looking at right here. And we're going to have some fun talking about wallpaper art of all things. And the reason that we're going to be talking about wallpaper art is one, I think that a lot of them do look really cool. And two, on social media, they've just been giving us so many wallpaper after wallpaper after wallpaper after wallpaper. And I thought it might be useful to talk about, like, which ones we like and which ones we don't like, which ones we think look great and which ones we think we would never bother to download to our phones. To discuss that, I've got a couple of guests here. One of which you're probably pretty familiar with if you watch any FFBE related content, and another is a totally new person. So we're joined by dbarry and also by Huxley.Silver. So I'm going to let them both take a minute to say hello, and then we're going to start ranking vision cards and wallpaper art given to us by FFBE. So, Hux, since you're new, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I started the game around the Katy Perry event and just kind of played casually for quite a while up until started to take it more seriously around when NVs came out, and yeah, pretty much that long.
Cool. Would you say you're more of a Dark Visions or more of a Clash of Wills?
I enjoy both. I'll attempt Dark Visions if I don't have the team for it. I won't stress about it. I had the last Dark Visions we had around January. I was having some friendly competition with Barry actually on Facebook because I was just to stay ahead of his score and at multiple points, like just to rank above him. So
Well, that's kind of fun. I
Oh,
didn't realize
that
that.
was
Now I've got you
you.
both in one chat room and we're going to be like discussing some really important stuff. That's funny. Oh, well, great. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining us, and I appreciate your feedback and your input. And Barry, I know a lot of people know you, but say hello.
Hey guys, still me. Still not exciting.
You're not excited, or you think you're not
Oh no, I'm
exciting?
I'm not exciting.
Oh no, no,
I'm
certainly
old
not.
hat at this point.
Oh, no, no. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I really like your feedback on pretty much everything we ever talk about. So that's the main reason why I wanted you here. And Hux had actually requested to be on a beige carpet, but it's hard to have a beige carpet when we don't have live streams to beige carpet about. So
Ah,
I wanted to offer this to Hux instead. But we're going to get started. So, to tell everybody the rules of this game, we're going to show a vision card on the screen because I know they're a little blurry on your screen right now. I'm going to pop it up much bigger so you can see the wallpaper art. And then we're going to talk about, how would we rank it? Like, is this something I definitely want on my phone or something I would rather not ever download? I've given our guests some instructions to kind of rank them however they want and rate them however they like based on whatever criteria they want. Because the rankings don't really matter. This is just fun conversation for us. But what I did not tell them is that I'm giving each of them two bonus powers that they can use at their discretion whenever they want. And one of
oh,
those is the Golden Kupo. You can use your Golden Kupo at any time to move a card up one entire category rank, regardless of how we vote as a group. Or you can use your Woeful Wark to move a card down one category, regardless of how we vote. You each get both of those.
oh,
However, you do have to say the words Golden Kupo or Woeful Wark in order to use your powers.
splendid.
Yeah, yeah.
sounds good.
So when if you feel like we're just not being fair to like your favorite wallpaper, you feel free to use that power. So to
I'm
get
sure we'll
us,
be very surprised about what one is the case for me. I'm
oh well,
sure that
totally,
will
totally.
surprise all relevant individuals.
Yeah, totally. I think that I think that we've all got our favorites, and that's why I think this is fun. But what's really cool about this, and if you can see it on the screen, there are definitely some that are, they're all tied to specific units. Well, most of them are tied to specific units, but some of them are tied to like not actual vision cards. They're just wallpapers, and so I think it's gonna be a fun little jaunt. And so we're gonna start off strong, and I've got them in no particular order. We're going to start off strong with this one. So here we are,
Huh.
our Lunar New Year unit of the year. We've got Ong. What are you guys' immediate thoughts here? A, S, B, C.
Okay,
Definitely
S
not
tier.
downloading.
Let's move on.
What's that?
Okay, so S tier. Let's move on.
S tier for Barry. And what do you think, Hux?
I like it. I'm kind of biased to archers in general and ninjas, so I'm perfectly fine with that being S tier.
Man, we're starting off strong with an S. S for sun, right? Because he's got the sun piercer. Is that right?
Sunbreaker. Yes.
Sunbreaker. That's right, not a sun piercer. So yeah, I'm fine with S2. I think visually it's a very attractive vision card. I actually think this vision card art and the wallpaper art looks better than the unit sprite. Um, so yeah,
Ooh,
I'm gonna
that
go ahead and
was.
give it the old. Oh, not that one, not that one. Hold on. We're gonna go ahead and give it the old S. There we go.
I
Very
was
good.
ready to put compelling arguments together, and so
Oh
there goes my golden Kupo. So
no,
I
I didn't
guess
mean
now
to.
we can. I was ready. I was ready to fight tooth and nail for this one. I was prepared. I have receipts. It could have been great, but hey, we
Now,
made this easy on me, so now it gets fun.
do both of you have this vision card for what it's
Oh God,
worth?
yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
yes.
Okay, we all three have this one, so that's cool. Let's see what comes up next. Okay, so this one is the holiday Ayaka card. Um, I personally think this card is super adorable, and this wallpaper art is super adorable, and I'm going to give this one an A.
Personally, I'd say B. Just that I find, like, yes, it's a nice card. It's just kind of bland and a little boring to me.
Hmm.
I absolutely agree. I was gonna go B.
B. Okay.
I think it's for what it. I mean, what do you expect? A snowy card. It's pretty flat, but it's.
Okay.
I don't particularly have any fond affinity for Ayaka either, which doesn't really help the situation. I
Okay.
just think they could have done. They could have done more with it than just hey, white snow, white dress, white chick, blonde hair. Move on.
That's fair. I'm going to give it to
This
you.
was this a wallpaper or was it a vision card? Sorry.
This was a
Oh,
a
thank you.
vision card first that became a wallpaper.
Oh, okay.
Now, as a vision card, I love this vision card because
Sure.
it's got the magic boost built into the vision card. It's a full stack magic boost.
Hmm.
Right.
But as far as art goes, I mean, I think it's cute, but I see what you guys are saying. All right, what do we
Yeah.
got?
As far as utility for the card, like yes, it's nice. It has the built-in magic boost if the unit doesn't have it. I think I maybe used it once
Hmm.
during Clash of Wills.
Okay, back when we were using Sukiko a lot, I use this on Sukiko a lot.
Sure.
So
Okay.
for that specific reason. So, all right, Baihu and Zukui. This was not a vision card. This is strictly a wallpaper.
You know, I love them. I love the concept. I feel like we could have played more on their mythological origins here.
Hmm.
And so I can't really and I would only even put it this high because I like the characters. I would potentially put it in A,
Yeah, I was gonna say A also,
but
but
I could
I'm,
easily
I'm
see B.
I was gonna say A, but I'm also I just finished jujitsu. I love martial arts, so
Mm,
light bias.
Okay. Okay. I think visually I would give it like a B because like you said it doesn't
mhm,
really tie in anything interesting about them or their kit or their abilities. They're
mhm.
just there. Um
Yeah, it's just art.
it's just art. So I would say probably a B for me personally. So are we okay with B?
I'm certainly not opposed.
Okay.
I'm okay with B.
Okay. Let's find that one. Here we go. Drag it into place. All right. Next up on the block is the Charlotte Vision card art, the wallpaper.
So
As far
this
as she goes, and I don't remember how many different VCs or art she's had, but it is nice on its own. Like it suits her, defensive, big shield. I like it for what it is. I'd probably give it a between a B and an A.
mm, I I mean, we'll take nothing away from this card. This card is great. It's a fantastic tank card. I I don't really like it
Mm,
myself. I could pretty comfortably put this at C.
okay.
C for Charlotte.
C for Charlotte.
Um, but I don't really feel strongly in any way. I think it's the most interesting combination to me of busy and boring
Okay. There is
that
definitely a
I
lot
don't
going
really know
on,
what to do
right?
with
And
it.
if you really dig into the art, you've got a lot of elements to it. Like obviously she's blocking some sort of attack, but you can't see what it's coming from or what it's doing. It's just fire breaking on her shield, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the environment kind of crumbling around her. Um, I think her pose is a little I don't love what her legs are doing. As weird as that's gonna like be that's my critique. I feel like she shouldn't be like trying to keep herself from peeing. And that's what she
Yeah.
looks like she's doing.
I also
The,
can't
the
pretend for a second that that shield can't be crazy heavy,
Yeah.
and so she's
but
just
she
like
could be
palming
strong.
it. She could. Clearly she is. They give it that. It's just
Well,
I was gonna say, perspective wise, the size of the shield to her, it just kind of it fits that whole. That's why she's such a good, well, debatably, but why she's a magic tank is the size of the shield.
mm,
mm,
So I like that aspect of it.
okay. She's also one-handing a two-handed sword very clearly.
evident. Yes.
Yeah.
Fair.
For what that's worth. So Barry's giving it a C. I would say probably a B. Hux was saying like kind of maybe like a low A, high B.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just take the average there and we'll go with a B.
Sure.
If I could find it. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
doesn't
there's
he
so
do it
many.
alphabetically?
I could put them alphabetically, shouldn't
It's
I?
next to the Dazzling Demoness on the top row, it
Ah,
looks
there it
like.
is. Perfect. Can't wait to get to that one. That's gonna be a
Yes.
fun one. All right, moving on. Chizuru.
Oh,
I'll go first. I feel like this does not look like Chizuru as I imagined her.
absolutely agree, 100%.
This is one of the goofiest
Yeah.
looking arts.
If we didn't know this was Chizuru, I would love this a lot. But we do know that it's Chizuru. And I mean, clearly it's supposed to be off of her Neo Vision. She was just in that black training garb for so long, for so many years of the game.
Mm-hmm.
To see her in this like vibrant Yan-esque colored outfit doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Or Yun. Not Yan, Yun.
I feel
Yeah.
like if
For
it was
my
going to be based off of her Brave Shift Neo Vision form, which is the one that does damage, right? She's wearing more armor. She's not wearing enough
Mm-hmm.
armor for that. So like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not my favorite. I would give it a, well,
well,
I'll let Hux go and then I'll give my grade.
I was gonna say it doesn't really do much for me. I just remember a lot of the discussion in the Facebook group when the card came out, being who is this supposed to be, and that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd go for a C.
That's where I was going to go too. I mean, if all
Agreed.
three of us had to take several glances at it to even see who this art is, I would agree that C or D is probably appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
All righty then. We'll go with that. Our first C for Chizuru. Cool smile.
Oh man.
This is a contentious one, I think. Now, art-wise, I think this looks really
Okay.
good.
This was the Star Ocean art developer, right?
This was, yes.
Okay, so immediate S for me. Star Ocean's one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
I will never forgive, although at this point it wouldn't have mattered, it would have gotten end of service anyway, but Anamnesis was a great game. I really would like
Well,
Square to give more attention to the Star Ocean franchise than the last couple entries have. But just this stylistically, seeing FFBE original characters in different art styles is so phenomenal to me. And Fry in particular, it just fits this whole theme so tremendously well. You
Mm-hmm.
could absolutely convince me that this is just a Star Ocean character. I love it.
Very cool. What do you think,
Not to
Hux?
mention when the card came out, it was pretty like it was great as that
Oh
mod
God,
buff. It
yes.
wasn't a very powerful card, like stat wise, but the mod buff was huge for probably a few months.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Oh
where I think
gosh,
it's a contentious wallpaper slash card, right? Is that some people were
Mhm.
like, no, this card's terrible, and some people were like, oh no, this card's fantastic. You just don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
But art wise, I think this is beautiful. It's good. It captures
Absolutely.
original Faravia's STMR and her TMR. Um, it's got her like nice long flowing coat. It I think this is great. So I would say probably an S for this one, just from an art perspective.
And
I
this,
do like the art. Personally, I was going to say A, but I also the Star Ocean series is in my backlog of games to get to, so I haven't touched them personally.
Okay.
But it is great art. I was going to say A,
All right. We got two S's and A,
but
so we're gonna
I'm
we're gonna take the
yep,
average there. We can
sounds
always
good.
adjust. Don't forget, you've got your special powers, but you might want to save those for moments of intense debate. Um,
Well, oh, and with those powers, we don't have to use them on the spot. We can throw it at it
we will
later,
have we
right?
will have time at the end.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So this is one of two vision cards slash wallpapers that came out at the same time,
Mhm.
and it's got the Moogle and Carbuncle. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the light imbue card.
I believe so.
But from a wallpaper's
And
perspective, what do we think?
D tier.
it
D.
it's cute, but yeah, not really. I have it. I've never used it. It came
Uh,
out with the Chrono Cross collab.
Yes, it was.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'll admit that
Uh,
that is a large reason why I feel so strongly about this one. I hate everything that this card represents, but
Okay.
the way that they pulled it out, the way that they brought it to be,
Okay.
um, it is a very cute card. Don't get me wrong. I just when we're starting to look at the other things that we have to parse through, I don't know. To me, it's a pretty comfortable D, and I have no problems with that. But
I agree because again, this is like okay, so if I pulled my phone out and like to show somebody a picture of something and this was happened to be on my home screen, like I wouldn't necessarily be proud to have that on my home screen. It is cute, but like compared to some other ones, it's just not hitting it for me. So I'm gonna agree with D here.
I'm okay with that.
All right. We almost have one in every category. We're making some good progress here.
I feel like A will be very specific.
Very much so. Dark Rain.
I also have opinions on this one. I'll go last here.
Okay. I think this is
I
the one that does the personal dark imbue.
Hmm.
Um
I believe so.
yeah. What do you think, Hux?
did I have an amp or just an imbue?
I think that's what that was it
I
was an amp and an imbue, yeah. It was like a
Oh, okay.
100% rolling amp and imbue.
This is World
Um,
Ender, yeah.
World Ender, yeah.
I know that MK is a big fan of Dark Rain. I doesn't really. It's nothing for me. For me, I would say D.
Ooh,
I don't
okay.
really care for the art. I don't the card. I don't think I've ever used.
Okay. Okay. I think this is not the best look Dark Rain has ever had. I think his he looks
Goofy.
a little weak. He's got
He
a
looks
little weak in
goofy.
the chin, you know?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
love this
hate
I
it.
don't love the way his staff looks or his
No.
spear. I guess it's a spear, isn't it? Yeah. Um
Yeah, it would be.
I feel like he doesn't look rugged enough for me for a dark brooding evil character. So I would go with like a C or a B, but I hear D. What do you think, Barry?
If we didn't know that this was Dark Rain, could you actually look at this and get any vibes of rain at all?
Um Not really, because it doesn't. I think it doesn't even really look like Rain, other than it's a blonde dude,
Right.
right?
I hate it. I hate this art.
Okay,
I think it's the goofiest, most absurd thing. I don't even know if I've ever looked at it this closely,
yeah,
but my dislike of this particular art is almost visceral. It
Okay.
says nothing about what I feel about Dark Reign as a unit, because obviously he was incredible for so long, but they make him look super edgy, and then they just give him a crop top.
Yes. Now,
I think that's not even what he looks like in game. I don't know.
we,
I don't
we, we
understand the
frequently
decision.
joke about does he have nipples under that? I think he does personally. But
They're dark though.
they're
This is
dark,
Dark Reign.
dark brooding nipples.
That's it. That's why he dual wields spears. It's 2
Ah,
points.
very good, very good. So I guess D for Dark Reign. Sorry, MK. Speaking of
Oh,
D's, we got double D's with the Dazzling Demoness.
oh man.
It
See what
works
you
on a
did
lot
there?
of levels, doesn't it?
hmm
Let's focus on the art, and then we'll talk about the
Yes.
cards separately. But art-wise, I feel like
I'm assuming it's the Earth Crystal behind her.
yeah, it,
I love the color scheme. I love everything about this card.
Yeah, I've got no
All of it.
complaints. Like that solid A for me. Great art, great composition, I guess.
mm-hmm. I
I'm
would say
also
it
okay
definitely
with
like an
A.
A. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we can't flood S's and give no A's. Like I could easily put this in A.
Okay. Very good.
It very well could be an S later. I don't know. It may come back.
I say let's put one in A, and then if we need to change it, we will. Now, if we were voting on this based on the vision card's merit alone,
Oh yeah,
S
sure.
plus,
Yeah,
right?
no question. In
Yeah.
a tier of its
Definitely.
own for many reasons.
Very good. Well, I think I feel good about that one. Someone had to be an A eventually.
Though on the merits of it as a VC card, it has been surpassed. I think it's
Absolutely.
the
Sure.
Abara one.
Yep.
Yeah, the parade card.
Yep. This is cool though. I mean, you don't really see it on the vision card when you're equipping it, but like the whip looks really good here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
very cool. This is one of the newest ones. We just got this one like earlier this week. The Deoxys card
Yeah.
/ wallpaper. I'm gonna say a C.
The card is great. The visuals don't really do much for me,
Mm-hmm.
but
I think I might have felt stronger and more positively about it if he had had his helmet on.
Right. I wish this
that would have
was
been much better.
if they had done Brave Shift Deoxys. Yeah, that would have been
Mm-hmm.
super cool. Like with his armor fully awoken and everything like that, with his
Mm-hmm.
chainsaw sword.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As it is, I mean, probably a C for me.
I don't feel like he looks angry enough. He's like supposed to be like
No.
super angry villain man, and he doesn't look it. He could even be
Yeah,
considered
I'm okay
honorable
with C.
Oh, yeah.
in this picture. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a C, and if anybody wants to argue with me, we can.
The one thing that's always confused me, even like with his sprite, is those little, like if that's his cape that's kind of enveloping and if that's rigid around him. I've always been slightly confused about that.
Yeah, it does kind of look like he's sitting inside of a slinky that's been cut in half.
It's just his
Exactly.
portable throne.
His portable throne.
Portable
Bring back the
throne.
chair meta, please.
Oh, please.
All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, okay. This is cool, right? So this is one that is not a vision card. These were given out during the Parasite Eve collab, obviously. And we've got Dressy Iabrea here. What do you think?
So,
I
as a
per
wallpaper
oh,
art. No, go ahead.
oh it doesn't matter. I was gonna say I haven't played the game personally. I know Sinzar loves Iabrea, like from the game also. Um, I prefer the other wallpaper art to this one. For me, this is a B, but
Okay.
Yeah.
B for Hux. What do you think, Barry?
I think I could have really enjoyed this art a bit more if they hadn't put the sprite in it too.
Yes.
I honestly think they lost me by throwing the sprite alongside the art. I think if they had just I honestly would have potentially even enjoyed seeing her like back to back with an FFBE artistic rendering of the exact same concept of the original Parasite Eve art.
Uh-huh.
But by putting the sprite in there, I just think it really takes away from what it could have been. So I mean, I would even potentially feel B is a little high. I'm more on the C end of things. Not which has nothing about
Do
Parasite Eve as a game. It's just not for me. This
Yeah.
art.
do either of you know if the art is from the original game or
Yes. So I believe this is artwork from the original game.
no?
Looking at her, this is just an aside. Looking at her sprite this big, her hair is huge. Like,
Yes.
for some
She got some
reason, it's like
solid
bumping
lift.
out to the side. I've never noticed it's like that before, but yeah, it's kind of big. I'm gonna go a C for this one for me as well. What do you guys think? Maybe like a higher C. Do we like this more or less than Chizuru's?
More than Chizuru for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, this is the card that you get from EX3 Eternal Radiance Elena, but it's got rain on it. And this was kind of the first one that was in this kind of style, as far as like the artwork goes. I think it's really cool art.
Yeah, it's fitting. I like it.
Agreed.
Yeah,
This looks more like Veritas of the Dark than Deoxys's card.
right, right. I would say this is for me probably an A class card.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I use this card all the time, so I like it. This is okay. This is the first card that we ever saw, or the first art that we ever saw with Elena on it. And it's her Brave Shift form of her original Neovision form, and this was the second ever of the global exclusive Vision cards that came out. And it was like, oh, it's got dual wield on it. So like, yeah, for me that like kind of like stirs up a lot of stuff. What about you guys?
I actually use this a lot up until they increased the dual wield chain cap just for forcing dual wield on some units. And I remember we were having some fun in the Facebook group where people were messing around with some units and forcing dual wield on them.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely good for that. Nowadays, if you want to, the one we just had, the EX3 Elena card is better for that nowadays. But you know, from an art perspective, I still think this is a very weak looking Elena.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she's got like Greek columns behind her.
Yeah.
Aztec?
I don't know. I'm gonna say that a C here for me too. I don't love this rendition.
I love Elena. She was one of my favorite 7-stars. I wish they hadn't turned her into such a cash grab troll unit, but this art was kind of the beginning of that, I suppose.
All right. So where would you put it?
A low C.
Okay.
Yeah. C or D for me.
Sorry, Elena. All right. So here's the wallpaper for the card that has Ella Spears on it. I've actually never looked at this big before, and there's a lot of detail here that I've never really noticed before.
Yeah.
Like one of her eyes is red and one of them is black. I never noticed that before.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Huh. She also looks like she has to pee.
Yeah.
Doesn't she have in the other card? She has like whatever Lilith is, a succubus and then a vampire as parents.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that would probably possibly play into the different colored eyes.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
I'll give her that. I think the visual effects on her katana look really good.
Mhm.
That too.
The presumed blood moon in the background also looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just again, it's another one of those cards where I feel like there's a lot going on for seemingly no reason, which is why I would put it exactly where I put Charlotte's card.
Yeah, that's kind of where I
Um,
was leaning as well, actually, in the bees.
Or is that? Oh, yeah. I'm fine with B. I was thinking like I'm if it weren't for I would put it lower personally, except that Ellis Barris's was one of my first 7-star units.
Hmm.
Used her for a very long time improperly.
Didn't we all?
I used her as a tank for the longest time just because she
oh
had
wow,
the shield, so it worked for me. But
wow, she did, didn't she?
Interesting idea. Yeah. Okay. Well, we got her in the bees. I actually like, as far as like cards go, this again has some utility. It's got the ramping amplify, so it's useful.
I like the preemptive attack boost too.
Yes.
Great for Oko stuff for certain content.
Yep. So this is Esper of Destruction Fina. This is the wallpaper that they put out right around the Esper of Destruction event.
Hmm. So spoiler alert for me, I love this art style. This
Okay.
like quasi
yeah,
artsy watercolor
Hmm.
esque type of art. And so honestly, I like all three of them.
Okay.
Um, for me in particular, I appreciate the detail with this. I think it's the most artistically I've ever seen Fina rendered
Hmm.
in any card that she's ever been in, and so for me, this would be the highest regular Fina appearance. That said, I couldn't possibly put her higher than A, just because I really really like the art. I can't really compare it to something like Cool Smile.
Mm.
no, I like the art style too. I find it's a great art style to for shading, like to really accentuate certain parts, like they do for light coming in, and then to
Hmm.
shade off the rest darker.
Yeah.
I was thinking A also.
Yeah, I think A for sure. I really like the way that there's like the foreground elements and the background elements are so distinctly different. And
Hmm.
I think it looks really good. Um, I think there are cards that are better though, so I think I'm gonna put it in A, like you guys.
Yes,
The only thing I don't
certainly.
like about it is she's doing something really weird with her hands. That's my one criticism of it.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of like when you ask AI to generate hands
it is
and
very
it can't
silly.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but all in all, I'd say this is really great. I think they even do a good job of making her look like, usually Fina art is very provocative and chesty, and while
Yes.
while she is, I feel like this is understated. You know,
Agreed.
so
It's like Fina
Is it
finally learned
a
how to take herself seriously.
yeah.
is it just a wallpaper or was it a VC?
I believe
That
this
is
is just a
just a
wallpaper. I
wallpaper, I
I don't
think.
even have the
Okay.
Fina Esper of Destruction unit, so I couldn't tell what her vision card was, but I think this is just a
Well,
wallpaper.
I mean, she's a premium, so her EX3
Yeah.
card is just another one of those. FFBE category, or no, Anniversary JP and
Yeah.
Light unit, I believe,
Yes.
are
JP
her two
Anniversary and
categories on
Light.
her card.
Yep.
So, like, the most pigeonholed card you
Mm-hmm.
can ever imagine.
Yep. Let's move on. Here's another one. So here's Laswell looking very much so like a paladin.
Hmm.
Same background elements, just the foreground element has changed. What do we think?
I find he's too saturated, like
I
from
agree.
the light perspective of it, like it's too bright.
Yeah, it's
He could have used a lot more shading.
the white is too much. He does not have enough blue
Hmm.
because when they announced Esper of Destruction, everything was all about blue everything, but there's like no blue here. So,
Hmm.
which I guess would
I
mean it
put
It's
bleed
a
into the
D for
background
me.
too much, but like, yeah. What did you say, Hux?
D for me. It's just
oh
they
wow.
really like great art style, but the coloring just didn't hit the nail on the head on this one.
Poor execution. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Laswell. Poor Laswell. Always getting like that. But then to contrast that, we've got Rain, um, who looks really, really masculine and buff and like aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, with the big bulky armor, and the sword's got all these like embellishments on it. There's a lot of colors. Like even though it's
Mm-hmm.
got the dark blues, it's not blending into the background. I like this one a lot more than
Mm-hmm.
Laswell's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd
I
probably
find
put
the
this.
contrast is.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I find the contrast way better in this one compared to last well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd probably put this as the second to the highest A.
Okay, well, let's put it in there.
I was thinking B, but I'm fine with A.
Okay, very cool. And then I believe there's just one more. There we are. All of the Esper of Destruction characters, and you got the bigger
Mm.
shot of the background. You got Bismarck and Leviathan very clearly visible, but you've also
Mhm.
got Roos and
As well.
Laswell
Mhm.
and
But Laswell with complementing colors.
yes,
So like
yes,
Sophie makes him fit into this picture.
right. I would agree with that.
It's definitely better than the Laswell solo card. For me, I'd
Yeah.
say B or C. It's very busy for a
Yes,
card,
it is very busy, and
or even for wallpaper art.
it also includes characters that we don't have access to. poor
That
Well,
too.
poor Roos.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Yelika.
Yep.
Oh,
Did you guys?
yeah.
Did you actually pay attention to the story of Esper of Destruction? By the way.
I didn't even finish it, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
There's definitely still Lapis sitting there for me
Oh,
somewhere.
geez, go get it. I
I
actually
should.
I enjoyed it. I feel like Nelica, for some reason, like her character is just so strange in Esper of Destruction. Like I don't see that in the main story, and for whatever reason in Esper of Destruction, she's like really juvenile.
I
But
mean, I'm pretty
maybe I'm
far
wrong.
behind in story too, so.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
remember as I was going through the Esper of Destruction, like one I put it off for several weeks, but I did finally get through it. Very little of it stands out in my memory. Like it wasn't a memorable event. It was kind of a not a rinse and repeat, but very similar to past anniversaries, story content wise.
Mhm.
And I remember there was a few things that stood out where I either looked up the meaning or I just questioned why they had certain plot points or did things certain ways, and I can't even remember what they were. So,
Okay, didn't stand out to you. As far as this art goes, I'm going to say a B. It's a nice balanced card. If I had this on my phone or my iPad and somebody saw it and asked me questions about it, I'd be fine telling them, what this game was, and I think it is good. I'd say a B for me.
yeah, I'm okay with B.
Yeah.
Okay,
My
B it
heart
is.
wants it to be higher, but pragmatically speaking,
Yeah, but look at this nice distribution we have going.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
And then to go along with Esper of Destruction, here is the just like the computer screen wallpaper that they put out. I actually have this on my computer screen because I think it's really cool. But
I love this one.
yeah, I would say for me this would be an A.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I really wish we would get Bismarck as an Esper in game because that would be interesting, and I remember him from Final Fantasy VI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel any type of way about this one.
All right, well we'll just
I
put
like
it.
blue as an aesthetic color,
We'll
so I'm
just put
fine
it
with
in
that.
A, and if you want to change it
Sure.
later, you can provide some feedback. Okay, this is an oldie. This is a super oldie. If you can't really see too well, but on the bottom of the date it says the copyright on this image is 2015. But it's basically just a picture of all the espers charging at our screen here, and I love how big Titan is.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think this is cool. It's just it's hard to see some of them.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
that Laswell issue.
Laswell issue. We're just gonna call that the Laswellism.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
I do love the concept of it,
Yeah.
and the way like all the Espers minus Garuda are seemingly present.
Yep.
I for me I would say C. Like it's better than Laswell, but it's very saturated or monochromatic, and nothing's really standing out.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think if all of them were like full color, and like very clearly who they were, and I mean, it'd be a lot. This would probably be an A for me. I would probably put this low B, high C.
I think
And
not
feedback
even
for Gumi,
necessarily
please
make
update it.
them sure. I think not even making them necessarily full color, but if they could subtly outline
Mm,
each Esper in the color that it would actually be or something pertaining to the element it corresponds,
yeah.
that could at least give it something so that there were differentiable margins. Um, and I think we could make Bahamut a little bigger.
Yes. Oh, you know who's not here is Ashura.
Um,
Oh,
We were talking about
well
that. Like
then,
we were looking at this one in particular, and I don't see Ashura anywhere.
well then D tier. Let's move on.
D tier, move on. Yeah, you just lost us on Ashura.
but above Laswell.
Oh, above
But
Laswell, yes.
above Laswell, sure, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely,
for sure. Sorry, Laswell. Did
and
we?
probably above Dark Rain too.
You know, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it
Yep,
to you.
fair.
Oh God! All right.
The card that is eternally on Sart's homepage. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the I think it's called Bunny Bosom Buddies or something like that.
Um. No. No, absolutely not. But yes, absolutely, that's what it's called, and I really just am in permanent denial about it.
I don't have this card for what that's worth. But as far as the art goes,
Was it?
I think it's kind of
It
cute.
wasn't free.
No, this was a you could either buy it was like a lapis thing, and you could either get this one or
The parade.
something else. I can't remember what
It was
was.
or the parade.
Yes, it was that. It was this or the parade. And I chose the parade.
I
What was
shamelessly
the
have
grade?
both. That's the new Demon S card,
Yeah,
the Ibarra card.
Oh right, okay, I have that.
I think Esther looks a little too friendly, and Sylvie looks a little too derpy.
Mm,
Yeah, the colors are pretty. Like it's a flat color scheme,
Mm.
but
mm,
Esther's hair could definitely be more vibrant.
mm.
I'm gonna say C.
Oh no!
yeah,
Oh no!
I was gonna say D. So if you
Oh
want to
no!
bump that up, Barry, go ahead.
My powers aren't high enough. They're not strong enough to move this as high as I want it.
Where do you want it?
So first of all, other than Ong, Sylvie is my favorite unit that has ever been ever anywhere ever.
That's true. That is true.
Esther also is I'm well documented in saying that this banner, when these two units first came out, changed Global forever
Mm-hmm.
and really made it its own game, I think. Because otherwise, it still pretty closely followed JP's meta and whatnot. And so then we get that silver. Oh my god, that Sylvie and Esther banner. Wow, it's been a long day, and it just changed absolutely everything. And so now seeing them together, getting an idea of the kind of like potential dynamic that they could have had somewhat portrayed in that horrible Vilk event.
Mm.
And just having them both in one piece of art, you get very spring Easter vibes from it with just the litany of bunnies. The name is terrible. Let's not hold that against it. I'm going to call that a translation issue and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yes.
I feel very strongly about this card being an S.
Okay.
And that is purely on my own biases, and I will accept that. I agree that Esther's hair could be more vibrant. I will make the argument Sylvie too. I'd love to see
I,
her in a bit more overstated armor.
Mm.
I would like the card a lot more if the art style were different.
Okay.
Which is understandable.
I'm gonna give it
It's
an
definitely
A.
a taste. I'm gonna golden Kupo that.
Golden Kupo. Yes. Okay. There it is. Good choice. Good choice.
Thanks.
I was gonna take the
feel-
A, like the average, because like you were saying S, and I was like, we're gonna low A it, and then so we'll go. Very good use of your power. I like it.
I didn't think that was when that was gonna happen, but it's okay.
It's okay because we went and put Ong where he belongs, right?
That's true.
Yes.
It was made very easy for me.
Good. All right, so this one was
Oh,
just like a
God.
random wallpaper that they created. There's a mobile version and a PC version, desktop version, and this is it. Um, it's a Moogle.
MS Paint Moogle.
Yeah, MS Paint Moogle. I think it is executed well, um, but I think it's pretty generic.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think anyone at Gumi put an obscene amount of time into making it.
No, it's a pretty easy D tier for me.
Okay.
I will say one thing.
Yes.
If that art had actually been used as initial promo art for when the game was first announced way back when,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would feel very differently about it.
Okay.
Just because of what it would represent, not necessarily in terms of the art as a whole, but in terms of what it meant for the next 8 years. Now, obviously, that's not the case. It's simply, it looks like it could have been promo art at one point.
Yeah, very well could have.
Instead, it goes in D tier.
Okay.
But above Laswell.
Above
Because
last
I
one.
think
Yeah,
that we just have to make a
I
point.
just keep
mean,
I keep
it's
doing
just
that,
fine.
It's just so easy to just stick it there at the end. Okay.
It's true.
This is Fina the Return.
Yes.
And yeah.
I can't even remember what this card is.
I don't think
This
it's a
is
card.
not.
I think it's just
Was it not?
wallpaper.
Yeah, this is just a
No, this
wallpaper,
is
I
Weaver
believe.
of Wishes. This, in fact, is a card.
Oh, is it?
It was when they
Huh?
first started doing the like premium pull on this banner, get this card. So this is
This was the third one,
a
wasn't
light
it?
and dark resistance. It's a
Yeah.
110 base magic and spirit. Increase light and dark resistance 75%. Static magic and spirit up 300. It chain modifier in it, or a chain speed, I guess, for
Uh-huh. That's right, it did.
normal and elemental, and 200% magic true double hand. But this was the first, what people argued way back when, bad pull on this banner premium card.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was
Yeah, I was gonna
bad.
say it didn't sound too great, and I do not have this card.
Right. I
No,
think a
I
lot
think
of
a
people
lot of
don't.
people don't have this.
Yeah. Visually, I think it's probably a B. It's a solid, good-looking card. Doesn't.
I like the colors on it,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
like yeah, visually it's nice.
Agreed. I'm a big blue and pink fan. I
Yeah.
think they're wonderfully complementary colors. My only knock against it, where I couldn't necessarily put it as high as I'd potentially like, is it looks like a still shot of like 2003 CG,
Mm.
but I mean I think the rest of its strengths make up for that.
Okay. So we both said kind of like B-ish. What
That's
do
fine.
you think B? Okay. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Here she goes in the B's. Frost Lord.
I actually kind of like this. Was this? This is just a wallpaper?
This is
Or?
just a wallpaper. Maybe it's a card.
I believe it's just the wallpaper.
Yeah, I don't. If it's a card, I don't have it. Definitely. I mean, but here we are. So
I mean, the card that came out with them was that like oh no, nope, that's a card.
I think yeah, I was gonna say I think it came out recently. It wasn't it like a B stamp card?
I think it is.
It is, the name of the card is And None Knew Him.
Yes, that's right.
500 flat attack and magic, chain modifier up 50%. And then this is the ramping beast killer card.
There you go.
What did you say it was called?
And none knew
And
him.
None Knew Him. It's a flat 130 attack and magic card. And then 80% attack and magic, 50% LB, 30% ice resistance. It's got a lot on it as a card. It's just I don't remember
The
this
base
card at all.
stats on it. Yeah.
I think the banner it came out on, it just I had the units and had no reason to chase the card. I know I don't have it, but I like it visually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say though,
I
I
think
can't help but feel this armor looks also more like Veritas of the Dark than any Veritas of the Dark art we've seen.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little too dark colored. Like I know he's got kind of like a purple blue vibe to him, but I feel like in game his sprite is more blue than purple. His armor is like too purpley here for me.
I kind of feel like this was one of the premium step up banners where was this possibly like one of the first ones where they were not giving rate ups on the unit that's
I
supposed to be on
believe that's
banner and the card was
correct.
just there?
I believe that is correct. Let me see if I can pull up what banner this was on.
While you do that, I would say visually again, I'm feeling just like kind of solid B here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
okay with a B.
I also am.
Alrighty.
It also does like visually you can see all the he's got that variety of weapons. Like it looks like he has the spear and katana, which he can. Those are his two weapons he can use. So
And he's got a flail in there too for some reason.
Why not?
Why not?
I probably could find its banner. I don't care. No, I get the impression this might have been one of those cards that not only was there no rate up on it, but it might have been in one of those weeks where we didn't even really have anything to pull on at all, and they just dumped us units that no one cared about and no new unit.
That sounds entirely plausible. Chow goes trick-or-treating.
is that what
A
it's called?
tier for the welcome mat.
the welcome mat. It's the welcome mat is fantastic.
I love the welcome mat. I would own that.
I believe that about
I
you.
would love that.
I think it's called oh gosh, what is it called?
Just Chow's
Something about a good
Halloween.
boy.
This is Chow's Cheerful Hallows Eve.
That's right. Okay. So not about a good boy.
No, his actual card is like his
yes.
And not this one, but the Magic Tank
The original
Chow's
yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Original NV Chow's.
One other thing, he's got the blue tongue. That's like something to do with the way that the dog is portrayed in Chinese culture, right?
Well, they actually do have that tongue, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very, very blue-black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think so. You said A tier just for the welcome mat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the art. I think it's super cute. I'm okay with.
This is another one of those cards though that I hate what it represented.
Yes.
Which was the beginning of them releasing cards that were required in order for a unit to do everything it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that concept with every fiber of my being.
I'm also not a huge fan of Chow the Water Mage, but that's just me.
No, but then I also used him in my rank 1.
Oh, I use
Vision
him.
World,
Yes.
So I mean,
I use him. I just don't like the idea of him.
Yeah, I probably should have just replaced it for one of the NV
quick
pluses
question,
that
Barry.
I've never used. Yeah.
If you could get that welcome mat as a standalone BC card or as a wallpaper, would you be for it?
Oh no, I mean truly, I just want the mat
He
for
wants the
outside of my
welcome
home.
mat outside his front door. Yeah.
Like IRL, give me that. But also, yes, if I could get that particular image as a background of anything,
I like
it would go there pretty much for the entirety through mid-December, almost to Thanksgiving.
I like it. So speaking of cards that you have to have in order to have the unit at their full potential, this one on a double premium banner, you had to have this card.
I also hate this art.
Yeah, I think it's so busy.
It is exactly busy. It's exactly the word I would use.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it. Yeah.
Very, very, very busy, and then like even because you were saying in the previous Veritas art that his armor was too purple, and it's very like dull coloring on them themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's accented on their like the blue and the flames colors, which I'm sure that was the purpose of it, but it really kind of takes away from it at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we put Chow, just as a reminder, in A. I feel like I like this less than Chow's. I'm gonna say probably like a B.
Yeah, B or C for me.
Okay.
I was thinking all the way to like the top of D. So
Okay, so I think C it is.
yeah,
Take the average, despite the fact that the card's great. Original Ibarra. This was not
Uh,
originally Ibarra's card. This is just vision card art. I think it's called Kind-Hearted Demon. Um, but
Was that? It's an Esper card that came out with Shrine Maiden Tsukiko.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it is the Evo card,
Yep. I think
but
visually
also
it's
has
great.
200% Magic True Dual Wield and physical and magic killers to Dragon and Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love the
Visually,
colors on it.
Visually, I like it.
card.
Yep.
But do we like it enough for S? Can we genuinely say this is a better art than Dazzling Demoness?
No.
No,
No.
I wouldn't go that high. I would say A or B for me
I-
personally. Like I love the art, but it's not as great as some of the
Mhm.
like it's not as great as the S is minus your golden Kupo, but
I like it. So maybe
I would
middle
I would
A.
put it at the top of either middle A or as low as the top of B.
All right.
But middle A is good.
I think
I
middle
would
A is good.
potentially, yeah.
It's right in there.
Oh God.
This is Kaito officially.
So they say.
And I don't even know the name of this card. I do not own this card. Um, it's Kaito wearing as little armor as possible. He's kind of got the same problem Chizuru had on her vision card.
I believe it's a demon killer ant.
I think you're right.
I do have it. I like the art on it.
Okay. Sell us on
Um,
this card.
I rem-
Sell us on this artwork.
yeah, as far as like water motif and like it suits him. I like it. It's got the right environment in the background.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh, as far as a rating for me, I'd probably just say A or B, like low A, high B.
Low A, high B. Barry, what do you think?
Oh. I don't really like it particularly much.
Okay.
Admittedly, I also can't remember if any of the Kaito sprite has his mouth covered, which was odd to me.
Yeah. Base form Neovision's Kaito has the mouth covered.
Okay.
Yep.
I will say it's a missed opportunity to talk about precursors, but what do I know?
That is your
Is,
wheelhouse.
is he a precursor?
He is precursor of
Oh.
water. See, that's exactly the response I would expect from us all forgetting that precursors existed.
Yes, those are things.
Gerda's very familiar with me not being familiar with a lot of the lore in game.
Well, and if you came in, you said Katy Perry. Wasn't original Kaito pre Katy Perry?
Which Katy Perry?
So slight amendment to that. Like I actually started day one,
Okay.
and that's my Facebook account. But then I was coming from Brave Frontier,
Yeah.
and I was super hyped about FFBE, and I really wanted Sabin from Final Fantasy VI. Got him right away, but the gameplay wasn't comparable to me with Brave Frontier, and then so I just dropped it immediately, and I didn't come back until Katy Perry.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Gosh,
let's jump back to Kaito here for just a second, though, just so we can keep moving.
Sure.
You think, Hux, you said low A, high B. Barry's not in love with the card. I'm kind of in the middle B area.
I could be persuaded to put him next to Chizuru's card.
Okay. They do be being samurais.
as long as it's above Chizuru's card.
Yes, it
Fair
would be
enough.
above.
Fair enough.
Or no, I guess that's not what I'm talking about. Which card am I talking about? Oh god, big zoom in my face. I guess right before Christmas Ayaka, if
Right
we're talking about
before
these.
Christmas Ayaka. Okay.
Yeah,
Right here?
yeah.
Okay. I'll take that.
I don't think he's bad enough to be a C. I don't love it, but I can appreciate the art for what it is more than anything in the C by far.
Fair enough.
And then there's that.
Is it Knights of Grand Shield? Is it Paladins of Grand Shield?
It's a D.
It's a D.
I don't like that at all.
Okay, we all agree. So we won't even discuss it. I feel like
That's just wallpaper, right?
it's just Wolf.
Yeah.
No, there's a vision card.
Is there really?
Yep,
Oh
I
gosh.
do not
it
have
came
that.
out towards the end of Esper of Destruction. I think it has a light amp on it.
I don't even
It's got
I don't
something on
remember
it.
that.
It is a
Oh.
vision card though.
wiki.
Wait, is that the new Paladins of Grandchild and not Knights of Grandchild?
That's what I'm wondering because
It must be, I
it
guess.
kind of looks a little like Charlotte, face wise, and
What is that one
it seems to have
called?
some chesticles. So I don't know if it's Knights of Grandchild or Paladins of Grandchild. I don't know. I just spoilered Esper
But yeah,
Destruction. I'm sorry.
Somehow we'll manage.
All right. Last will goes ice fishing.
so
You know, I don't hate it. I like it better than the other last will card.
That's saying something.
granted. For me personally, I have this card, and the reason I think I got it initially because before we had the dual wield meta bumped up, I think I was using it on Carton to force him to be double hand,
Okay.
and it was hugely helpful for that. And on some other unit that I don't remember, but it had its niche uses, and I do have it for that reason.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Plus the self ice amp
Yep.
was nice.
Self ice amp is very
Imbue and
appreciated.
amp.
Use that all the time.
I think that it is not not a bad looking card actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's A.
No.
I kind of like it more than the Kaito card.
I like it more than the Ayaka card too.
Okay.
I just think this is a solid piece of art.
Yeah.
I would put Kaito above it personally, but that's my preference.
We're gonna take the average right there.
All right.
And then there's the other one, the other
Right.
last will wallpaper.
You know where that one goes.
I don't love most of the ones that are in this particular art style.
No.
There's one that I like, but
I
I
don't-
just feel like his face is like not right. There's something not right here.
You know
Yeah, I
where
don't like that
one
at all.
goes.
Sorry, Lastwell.
B.
You're going back with your friend, your other Lastwell.
Your other half.
Yep.
I could almost make the argument that it's worse than Esper of Destruction last will.
There it is. We have supplanted him. Yeah, I just don't love it.
Yeah.
I don't love the art style in general, but like I
No.
said, there's something up with
It's
his
a
face.
very flat style. Like it's almost cell shaded,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
but it's very flat for cell shaded.
Yeah.
yes.
Not dynamic enough. Despite how much motion there is, it's not dynamic enough. So this is the one that started it all. This was the first global exclusive vision card, the very first FOMO card.
Mm-hmm.
Leave things to me.
They only reran that or gave an opportunity to get it once, right?
I think there are potentially two
There were
copies.
three
of this
more,
card.
I think. But they reran it a few times.
Yeah.
I don't think they renewed the pool.
No.
But they definitely
No,
did.
but they
It was just way
they
later.
gave one opportunity for it
Mhm.
second time down
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah. And it was way later.
Yep. And when
Almost
it came
past the
out,
point you weren't using it anymore.
it was absurdly good.
Yes, it was.
I still use it actually for like one turn content to just put up a preemptive greatsword in peril.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
But
was
say my
it
only thing-
Greatsword Imperil and fire or
It's
earth and
great
barrel?
sword, fire,
or-
and earth.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
120 fire and earth, which is serviceable
very
by any
serviceable.
metric.
Yep. But that's the card.
The-
What do we think about the actual art on it?
So I don't think it looks like rain.
No.
He looks he's happy, but he doesn't look serious enough. And I know that Rain
It
is like the kind of
looks-
like playful hero character, right? But like I just think he's not serious enough when you are used to seeing him blowing up planets.
To me, it looks like Shulk from Xenoblade, and I
Okay.
can't unsee it.
Okay.
He's got that season 1 mentality of hope and
Ah, yes.
cheerfulness.
Season 1 Rain when you had the whole game's worth of lapis available to you.
Oh,
Yep. Good times.
what a time.
And
content.
Ranking.
And content, yeah. I would say if it was just purely on the card, I would say it's an S, but I'm going to say it's probably like a B for the artwork. For me.
Yeah.
Yeah, B, C for me.
I'd say very low B.
Low B. Okay. I'll do it.
That's an A. It's
You just put in
definitely
A.
Did
not
I
an
just do that? I'm sorry.
or not an A.
I'm just moving so fast here. I actually as busy as this is, I really like this version of Ling, but
It's very anime.
it's very anime. I know it's not for everybody, but I think that they captured what the original Ling really looked like.
Mm-hmm.
It's colorful, but it's done really well. Like
I think
very
it-
bright, but it's
Yes.
the composition is there.
I think if it hadn't been in the anime style and they were trying to do it in that like semi-photorealism way that they were doing the rest of it, I could have some issues, but in the anime style, I love this.
Yeah.
This is great.
My one critique of it is that she really needs to come see you, Barry.
Yes.
This is what I would say about that is after
I
taking this
agree.
picture, she needs an adjustment.
Yes.
But otherwise, I think the art is good. I would say an A for this one.
Agreed.
I would say S personally. But
Okay.
I could also
I really like the anime aesthetic of it.
2 S's and I'm going to give it an S. All right. The Lone Swordsman. We've got Hyo in the same kind of art style as Dazzling Demoness and other cards of that ilk.
So as I recall, this one was done by the Kingdom Hearts.
That sounds
Artist,
familiar. That sounds familiar.
I wanted to love. Let's not talk about the card at all because
Yep,
we all
just
know
the art.
that this
Just
card
the
was
art.
amazing.
Yep.
I wanted to love this card so much as soon as they talked about it being by the Kingdom Hearts artist, and I don't.
He almost looks T-posed. Like he's just to say stepped out of
Yes.
T-pose.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
To me, I fiddle around with AI art generators a lot for like character creation for
Yeah.
D&D and stuff like that.
Nice.
And this looks like something that AI art generation would have come up with.
Yeah.
Except he has all of his fingers.
Right. I don't think that the weapon looks imposing enough. Right?
No, it just kind of looks like an incidental thing.
Right. Like AI just
And
kind
where
of
does
stuck
the
it in.
lightning come from?
If you recall, the original Hyo had both lightning and fire imbues.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Because
Silly
so
Hyo.
did Chair Rain too. Chair Rain had fire, earth, and lightning.
Oh, good old Charing.
Yep. But I think this one looks better as a vision card than it is a wallpaper. Like I feel like the
Sure.
vision card kind of cuts off like here, and so you don't see all the kind of like unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
The
If you were leaning in a direction or with like purpose and action, it would improve it so much more.
For
just
sure.
to give it momentum.
For sure. It's very flat and dull in that respect.
It's like at the end of a flourish without any of the action before the flourish.
B, C?
For myself, I would say C or D.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
low C. Very low C.
Very low C.
Bottom of C.
I'll take it. I do love the card though. That blazing red flash
gosh,
ability
yeah.
is pretty sweet.
So good.
That is not how I pictured Nicole.
Right? He
Lord-
doesn't
Lord
have his
of Seas
glasses.
Nicole.
It is Lord of the Seas Nicole. Yep. Shift form Lord of the Seas Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't.
This is a card, right?
I think it is. I see what they're going for with the spiky frills on the coat. You've got kind of like gills and spines, and I see what they're going for. It does look like Leviathan has merged with him, but I don't like this art.
Maybe when you merge with the Esper, it fixes your eyes. Lose the
Maybe it
glasses.
does fix your eyes.
Mm,
Maybe it does. You don't need eyes or glasses underwater, you know.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I agree, I guess.
I would give this one a C, maybe even a
Yeah,
D. So I've said before, D is like one that if this was on my phone, I wouldn't want this on my phone. I would not
I
want
would
this on
not want
my
anyone
home
to
screen.
see that on my phone.
Yes.
I agree with that.
So D it is. Sorry.
I'm not.
Yeah. I love Nicole as a character though.
Oh God. Okay.
That's like the same.
Yeah.
Same
I would not
problem.
want anyone to see that.
Same
I want
problem. Yeah.
nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
That's not the VC card we just had, is it?
we just had they
2 weeks ago.
just gave this out
Yeah.
a few weeks ago for not Halloween.
The
And
random
it's a great
Lucius
card, but I had all the units already. Like I didn't need any of the units. They were so old. I'm pretty sure I had them all at X3.
Yep,
Mhm.
pretty much. And I think he does not look menacing enough, personally.
No.
So
No. He
bigger
looks like
bigger
he's
muscles, please.
in like a K-pop band during Halloween,
Yeah, totally.
which like is super fine. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing negative to say about that. It's just that is not how I pictured Lucius at any point.
that is a fair aesthetic. And in fact, I don't even think he has this much blue on him originally. I think he's more like red. But yeah.
Well, when he had his NVA, I don't remember his base form, but his shift form was very red.
Yes, for sure. D's okay?
He's great.
Yep. So I remember, I think in one of Sinzar's videos, he was talking about someone said this was a very old wallpaper. Is there a
Yep.
date on this?
SXM said that this was this was pulled out of an art book. Yes.
Okay.
And if it's in an art book, then I think it was probably, I'm gonna guess, either 18 or 19
Mm-hmm.
from one of the
Okay.
fan events. But I could be
Now, I will
mistaken on that.
say-
But either way, it's old, and it definitely has a different style than pretty much every other Vision card we've looked at. All the other wallpapers, it's very different. I think it's beautiful though.
Yes.
And
I actually think I have this too.
I will say because I adore SXM, I
Mhm.
think she's wonderful. I will I will say S because I do also like Luca. I did vote for her often.
Mhm.
Luca and Mercedes both
Yep.
during fan vote events. I think Luca is so underrepresented relative to how important she was to season 1 of the story.
Mhm.
And because she was a phenomenal unit as a 4-star base
Yep.
way back when.
For sure.
Even Sweet Luca, I mean, she was very usable. She just
Very.
came out a really rough time.
She did.
I
And
love this. This captures, I think, the personality that I imagine Luca really well. I wish we had more Leviathan motifs in it, but I will happily put this in S
I would too.
because it's the only thing we have for Luca.
Yep. I'm okay with
I,
S.
I had A. I had A in mind for me, but I'm fine with it being an S.
Done.
I was gonna say too for Sweet Luca, great STMR for the resistances,
Oh God,
especially at
yes.
the time.
Fantastic STMR.
Tremendous.
This is Medina. I actually so at the fan event in last year, they gave out like postcards that had a lot of these cards on them, and this was one that I have. So I actually have this hanging on my wall.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think this captures Medina really well.
Yeah.
I think her posture is
I
really weird.
definitely like it.
Yeah, I'm confused by the relative density of her hair
Mm-hmm.
and volume. Because it goes from a regular amount of hair to, oh, there's a lot of hair.
Yep.
and it's a little confusing. And then I mean, I get the point of the character, but I don't know. The fan service seems a bit much. And if you're gonna do all that, you could have put Elephant in it too to at least make it thematically true.
Yeah, I can see that.
For myself, I like it for what it is aesthetically, artistically.
Mhm.
I like it's good quality. I don't know. I'd say A.
I was gonna say a B.
It's at least higher than Winter Ayaka.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. Mid.
I really like this art.
Yeah, I think this is really good. I think this captures mid really well. I like the use of the purple.
Same.
I know I said didn't like all the purple on Veritas, but I like it on mid.
I appreciate that they actually put her in the sky.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of action too. Like the clouds and everything are kind of like blurred because she's moving so fast.
I just realized that's her. I guess her outfit's tail behind her up to the left.
Mm-hmm. I like this one. I like it a
I do
lot.
too. I'd put a mid A.
Okay.
I would say B.
Okay.
Mid A, so B, so I'm gonna say low A. Don't forget that you guys can woeful Wark and Golden Kupo at any time.
I've only got a work left.
Yeah, you've only got to work because you used your.
I haven't wanted to move anyone down enough.
Yeah.
Midnight Revelers.
The Midnight Revelers. You've got Arimons, you've got Slimes, you've got Lilith. She's eating candy.
And is that a slime? Not a slime, but those mud cream things. Flan, yes,
Plans, yes.
in the lower right with the lollipop.
Yep.
I love the colors in it.
This card is very fun.
It is very fun. Again, I would say very anime style with the wink, right?
Definitely.
But not in a bad way. I think it captures Lilith.
Yeah, I appreciate that they took a succubus card and made it more like fun and cutesy than the obvious fan service they could have done.
Yes, for sure.
I just realized she's got a pumpkin over her shoulder filled with candy.
Yes, she does. Hearts everywhere. I think I love this guy up here the most. With all the suckers in his mouth. Yeah.
Oh, nice. 4 of them?
Yeah.
Looks like he stole it from the Flan.
At least 4, yeah. Really fun. I'm gonna give this an A.
Yeah, high A for me. If not, I actually I'll say S.
Okay.
I really like the art in it and the colors.
Yep, the colors are very good.
So I want to agree to put this in S, but I think by that justification, I want to move Dazzling Demoness up into S as well. Because I don't think
the colors are like the quality of the
both. Because I don't necessarily think that card, the art, I wouldn't necessarily, to me, I wouldn't put it better than the Demoness.
Okay, they're very different styles though.
They are.
Yeah.
And I think now, relative to the rest of what we have in A, I think it's safe to move Dazzling Demoness up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sounds good. This is the card that came out with Murray.
Yes, indeed.
On Murray's banner.
Yes, it was.
And it has Murray on it, which is nice. What do you think?
Personally, love ninjas. I love the art on this card. It's an S for me.
I second.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you guys then, because I can't really argue with that. I think it's a good looking card. I like the color palette. I feel like it doesn't look all washed out. I feel like they could have taken it farther as far as like fan servicey. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
They
No,
did,
it's very tame as far as that goes.
as far as that goes, they could have done a lot worse. So, and I like the way her chain's moving and looks really good.
I appreciate how vibrant they made the moon as well.
Yeah, very good.
Like, I think that color choice was fantastic.
Yep. Mont.
Oh god. No.
I almost ended up getting this card.
Oh, it was on the verge. Yeah, I remember the card itself was on the verge, but like there was something else I had that was better or like almost as good. Was it
What?
a power cut? Is like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
Yeah.
they're like kind of
See,
like
at this point, I already had a copy of Jack's card.
oh yeah.
What did the card do exactly?
Oh gosh.
Was it like a high HP value, and that's why it was so close to
I
Jack?
think it is high
It's
HP.
a high HP, high defense card.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it has LB damage on it too, maybe to go with Mont because Mont was an LB damage dealer based on defense and something or other.
Yeah,
Did it
that
possibly have
whole.
mitigation? No,
I don't think
or
so.
was that him?
That's probably him.
Remember what the card is called?
No, because I don't have it, and I'm not a huge War of the Visions fan.
No. Me neither.
Art wise, I think this looks more like Rain than Rain does.
Yep.
Which is
Very much.
funny because I mean, yeah, but yeah. So I would, but it also captures
there we
like
go.
royalty and like big bulky boy. So I would say B.
Yeah, a high B for me.
Pretty good card.
Proof of Resolution and Resolve.
That's right. That's what it's
So
called.
that was a 1500 HP, 110 defense card, with 100%
110.
HP and defense.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is a
110,
lot
right?
of HP and defense though.
100% HP defense, 500 static HP and defense, 50% LB damage, 100% defense, true double hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then the chain speed increase 200% and chain cap 100%.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff on that card. Like the base stats on
it is
it
a
are really
loaded
bad,
card.
but like
I feel, but how often were we using our defensive tanks
that
to
was the problem.
chain? And
I
again, at that point,
I did get NV Mont just for just to have him.
same.
I think I got him like a step or two before the card, and chasing the card just wasn't worth it for that reason. Where it's like your tank's not gonna make or break your clear as far as damage.
Not back then, at least, for sure.
No.
Nowadays, there have been some times where I've used, I used Jecht on a Clash of Wills, and his damage did contribute, but like, very seldom are you bothering with that. So,
yeah, because of the whole, they re-released the shards for Jecht like every day or week or whatever they did. I had 2 copies of Jecht's card before this came out.
Yeah.
So it was never worth it for me from a tank perspective. That said, this card is loaded.
Very.
Art-wise, though, he looks like a child wearing his dad's armor.
That's Mont, though.
I mean, you're right.
I only played a little bit of that game, but that sounds like Mont to me.
That's true. Not anymore, I guess.
That Jack Bragg error was one of like their best blunders that they didn't fix.
Good. It was so good because we got a lot of Tidus shards from that too.
Yeah, that's what I did. So I skipped past this one just because it's the same one as the other one we've already talked about.
Sure.
But here's the Midnight Parade for 1.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
as a functional card, it's better than Demoness artistically, and I couldn't remember exactly how it looked. I find it's a little bit less than Dazzling Demoness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, IB.
I personally think that the original Ibarra's art card is better than this.
I like the original Ibarra's design better than this version of Ibarra. In general, but I mean, I think this is it's an attractive card. I'd say a B.
Yeah, B is fine.
I do find her half mask though is a nice touch, and that they gave it as I think it was her TMR.
It is. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what Nicole's really supposed to look like, right? We have the same glasses.
Yeah, that's Return Nicole, isn't
It
it?
is Return Nicole. Yep. This, I believe, is a targetable water amp card.
That
Was
sounds
it what?
right.
Or was it? Oh yes, and it has Machine Killer on it. I believe.
You are correct. 50 or 75% demon and machine,
There you go.
75% water and lightning resistance, 100% magic, 500 flat magic, and then yes,
Water amp.
targetable 100% water amp.
Yep.
Oh, it's not 150.
It is
It
100.
was
Yeah,
okay.
it's a 100 ramping, isn't it?
60, 80,
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
Now, do we know did this ability get the buff that they just did
I
where it's
doubt
just
it.
100% for 3 turns? I would think not too.
I would because they didn't touch any of the global units that have ramping amps. They just touched the
Oh,
JPs. So I'm guessing that the cards, since these cards don't exist in JP, also did
sure.
not get touched.
That would track.
But art wise, I think this looks exactly like what this character would look like.
Sure.
I'd say it's definitely above the other Nicole that we had.
We put
At least
that
a
one.
category or two.
That one was a D, so I would say this
D,
is probably
or
a
D.
C or a B.
I can do C.
Yeah.
It's
I'm okay.
I think it's marginally worse than the Chizuru card to me, but
Okay. I'm okay with that.
that poor card.
So this is
I actually like it.
this is Phantom Thief Son. Supposedly.
So personally, I like this. I find the card adds to like it better portrays how the unit should be aesthetically. Because I find I do like the unit sprite, but I find with that eye behind him above his head, it looks like a top knot.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually really do like the card. For me personally, I'd probably say low A or a B.
Okay, low A or a B. What do you think, Barry?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think I want to like it. I think I'm mentally resistant to liking it because of how expensive the banner was.
The situation, yeah.
That too.
See, I feel like visually, the card looks like it wants to have a lot of motion, right? There's these like energy sweeps of him swiping his daggers in front of himself, but it also looks like he's sitting on a bench. I know
Yeah.
what
The way
he's supposed to be like dashing backwards while he's slashing, but it looks
I
like he's
was gonna
sitting on
say
a
that's
bench.
how I see it.
Yeah.
I see it as him kind of guarding with his daggers and evasively stepping back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yet I can't not see him sitting on a bench. That's just me personally. So I'm gonna go with a kind of a B, like kind of a high, maybe like a higher end B. Higher than the last well goes ice fishing. I like Ayaka a little better.
Sure.
Sure.
Physalis.
This was a card, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
No.
I like Moog a lot, but I'm gonna give this a C. It's just a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, low C for me.
Low C. Yep. Not even high C. Not even Ecto Cooler.
Oh no, no Ecto Cooler. Too good for that.
Okay, this is
And
Keen.
What was this? Just part of that wallpaper they
Yep,
threw
this
out
was
in
just
January?
the wallpapers that they were giving out during Lunar New Year.
the pre-ong phase.
Pre-ong, yep. And this is Keen.
I don't know.
Yeah, I am not in love with the card. Honestly, I think it's like really washed out color wise.
Yeah. Like they tried to make him too soft, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so they instead
Sorry.
just washed out the color palette.
Yeah.
If there was an original event, I missed it. This is a guy.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
He is an emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Or was he the emperor?
I
I mean,
think it
who,
was. I
but
think it was.
something of that vein, was it
is
not?
a royal family for sure.
Yeah.
But was a performer into the arts drama area of performing, um, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mhm.
But yes, I think it
And
captures
this
exactly
could,
what it should be. I just feel like the colors are washed out.
I was gonna say for myself, I find like the face doesn't look right to me. Like with the eyes, how
They do
Eyes
seem
just
are
really
the
far
very.
way
apart. Yeah.
the structure of the face.
Mhm.
For me, honestly, like it's a D. I don't care for it at all.
No. Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Above
It's another one
Lastwell
of those
though.
ones. Oh, always above Lastwell's.
Yeah. This is another one of those ones that's in that same art style that I don't really love, but as far as those cards go, this is the one that I do like.
But where is the where are the other ones in that art style ranking
The other
wise that
one
we?
was it was a Lastwell that we didn't like. We put it in the D. It's like the bottom D.
Oh, okay, I thought there was one other one, but
I think there
yeah,
is one other one.
aesthetically for me, C,
C.
B.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Mostly because it's Reagan.
Mostly
So
because
that's
it's
fine.
Reagan. This is not a card or a wallpaper that has the logo on it, but this is on their website as a wallpaper. Um, very very early art style and CGs and
Mhm.
stuff like that. This also says 2015 on it for what that's worth, right around here. Pretty
They're not
basic,
very
right?
expressive at all. They have no facial expression.
Yeah, they're both kind of snarling at each other a little bit, just a tiny little bit,
Yeah.
Was this a season 2 preview?
maybe.
Hmm.
It's old though.
Yeah, fact.
I'm gonna say a
D,
C,
B,
just because it's boring.
sure.
There's nothing to it really.
It is boring. Hard to disagree.
Yep. All right. This is one of my
Yeah.
favorites. I gotta be honest with you. I love this vision card. I love the way they make her look.
Sell me on it.
Well, I just think that so so she's obviously wearing armor and a bikini, right? But they don't make her look slutty in the process. She's like, she's got the big plates out in front. She's covered up. She's got the wings, the horns, the hair. She's got her spear. I think it's really cool, and I really liked her as a unit too. Both her original form and her Neovisions form.
Well, as Yuna, especially for her NV when she was remade, like she lasted
Yep.
months.
I still use her. I used her recently on the community challenge, the Final Fantasy VIII
Mm.
level. She's really good versus that one. For anybody who's still working on the
Did you-
community challenge, go do that one with Roberta. It's done. Piece of cake.
I don't think I've done them at all.
Oh, you are not helping.
Yeah, whatever.
I've been doing them once a day,
There you
like
go.
personally.
I
Like I do my contribution daily, and that's
there.
it.
I'm doing my part. I also have
Yeah.
this one on my wall. I will say that too. This
Uh,
is another one of the cards that I happened to pick up at the fan event. So, yeah.
so for me,
I
where this loses a lot of points is just by not having Ignitos anywhere in it.
Well, it's because he's fused
well,
with her.
she's merged.
Yeah, she's merged.
Yeah, but they coulda.
They could have. You're right. I'll give you that.
I
Yeah,
am.
I don't like it quite as much as you, Gert, but I don't dislike it either. For me, it's I would give it an A or a B.
Okay. Barry?
I would also lean B, but I'll give you the bottom of A to make you happy.
No, I can do that because I can golden Kupo it if I really want to. We'll see.
You could.
We'll see.
I was wondering if you had those powers too.
Oh, I definitely have those powers. Are you kidding? I'm like Simon
Okay.
Cowell. I can do whatever I want. Um,
It is your tier list.
yes. This Ugh,
Regina.
my gosh.
I don't
So
like it at all.
my problem with this is I actually really love it until you realize it's Regina, and then it doesn't look anything like it and makes you hate it.
This reeks of AI tried to draw something weird, you know.
Right.
Her
Or
I
pose is
don't like the
weird. Her
pose.
proportions are weird. Um, I hate this art so much.
yeah.
The gun looks cool.
It's the coolest thing on here is the particle effects on the gun. Yes.
And the like green
Yeah.
light up accents inside of her.
Yep. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Everything else I do not like. So I
Yeah.
would put this in D personally, but I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I'm fine with it in D. I was gonna say low C, but I'm fine with D.
I gotta look at what's in D. Because
Well, we got the
I safely
mascots.
think
It would be at the top of D if it's in D.
yeah, top of D, bottom of C, because it's easily better than everything else in D right now.
Okay.
I just don't know if it is good enough to be in C.
Yeah. Again, if this was on my phone and someone saw it, I'd probably press the button to turn my screen
Oh
off.
yeah, I'd be crazy embarrassed. Just like with this one,
Hey guys, it's Roos.
I guess.
He's a character in this game. I'm gonna again say D.
Hmm.
I don't love the
Because his
character.
most recent form has been skipped.
What's that?
His most recent form has been skipped.
Yep. And I mean, season 4, as much as I like it more than season 3, I still have read less of it than anything. Like I, I've stopped caring
Hmm.
because it's just gotten ridiculous as far as like their dialogue and his bickering with Rain. So
Well, yeah, and the
Uh,
fact that they've been
His
fighting
bickering
for
stopped a while
100
back.
updates.
what's that?
Oh, his bickering stopped a while back. They stopped bickering, but it's
Are they still fighting?
anytime he no anytime
Oh.
he has dialogue now, it's very bland. Pretty much all his dialogue is about his focus on the omnibus and how he's able to improve it and how he's going to get it to the next step to be able to take out Omega
Mm,
or
Good for him.
what are they at? They're past Proto Omega and they're at something else right now,
yeah.
and I don't remember.
Well, story
I
comes out
got
tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see what
yeah.
happens next.
I haven't even finished enough into story to get the recipe for Vidar Plus yet,
Oh,
so
bro.
I stopped
Well, I can't.
caring. In my head, I'm like, I'll just save all this lapis for if we ever dry up and I really need lapis. And well,
Yes.
who knows what will come first, content or me needing lapis?
Is this better or worse than the generic Moogle background?
It's marginally better.
Marginally better. Is it better or worse than the Esper's background?
It's worse than the Espers.
Yeah, it right where you have it's good.
Perfect. Sorry, Roos.
I'm not.
And then there's Ricky Bobby.
I, so Rick did such an awesome unit, and this is just a dude with a scarf.
Yes.
It reminds me of a character out of Tekken,
Uh,
the
Oh
fighting game. I've
gosh.
never played it, but I've seen similar aesthetic.
yeah, that's a fair assessment.
I would put him as one of the main characters of the Venture Brothers,
Mm,
mixed with like a little bit of Johnny Quest.
yeah, I could totally see that. He's
But
more.
yeah,
He's definitely more. I think Hank Venture is the one with blonde hair.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Okay.
But
is this just wallpaper or
This is a vision card.
this was a card.
Yep.
was it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was another one of those ones that was attached to a banner that nobody cared about.
It is a
Fair enough.
170 card, though.
Yes, that is one thing that made it stand out.
What did it amp color wise or element wise?
100% human and fairy killer.
Oh, right, that is.
So
Oh, now I
80%
remember it.
attack.
It was
So
recent.
it was a 170 attack and defense card. With 80% attack
That's
and
why it stood out as
defense.
not great because it had defense instead of
Right.
magic.
100% human and fairy killer, and 100% fairy killer is phenomenal.
Yep.
And then a flat static 500 attack and defense.
Yep.
Light unit.
That's right. All the abilities were tied to light. So
Yes,
okay.
all of them.
Art wise,
Yeah, I remember now when. But I don't like the art.
I don't like the art either.
I'm
The art's
very content with
heinous.
that being in the D.
Worse than Regina.
Worse than Regina. All right.
I would even say that's worse than worse than Roos for me, but
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, all right.
I'll take it. Sakura.
Card's adorable.
Card is so adorable. It has motion. It captures her. It doesn't look weird. There are no like weird elements that like things seem like out of proportion. She does not have to
I was gonna
pee.
say it's very well proportioned. She looks like she has that shorter stature. You can tell, even though there's nothing
Around
really
her.
to compare her to.
Yep. And yet she's still taking up the whole card, which is or the whole
Yep.
scene, which is it's great. I love it. A.
Go. Yeah, I'd say low A for me.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Low A.
All right. Soul.
Everyone's favorite.
Shiny
Still
leg
on my
man.
arena team to this day.
I was telling Gert the other day, I pulled for him when NV era was starting because I had no mages and I thought he would be decent. I was still learning,
Yeah.
so I
Oof.
had to pity him.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's a choice.
Yeah, not a great choice,
I
and
I pulled pretty hard for him because he was the first mage card.
Mm-hmm. He
And
was.
so I wanted the magic card because I thought this is absolutely going to be useful. And it super wasn't, like, ever.
Yep.
So
Art-wise,
now
I
here we
feel
are.
like this is super washed out. I know why it's washed out because that like sphere of energy is supposed to be like making everything around him kind of purple hued.
Sure.
But I just don't. I think it loses something because of all of that.
Yeah, he just kind of blends
He
in.
just kind of blends into the purple galaxies in the background. So
I would have really enjoyed if they had tried to throw in like chaotic darkness into here,
that would have been cool.
but otherwise it's
low
just
C.
yeah,
Better than
better than this book
Phasalis.
though. Yeah.
Definitely better than Phasalis.
So another Esper of Destruction. We've got Ffbe, who I think this is probably my favorite of the three, or the four of them, of the solo
Agreed.
character
It's
cards.
very bright, but I don't mind it for her aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. I think it fits her very well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, so I'm gonna put this in high A.
IB? Oh, okay.
I mean, we put
Yeah,
Rain
I'd
and
put
Fina
it
in high A. So
I'd put it above Rain and
Oh,
Fina.
yeah, very fair.
Below Ibarra though.
below Ibarra. So with the other Esper of Destruction. So we're at least consistent, right?
Except for Lastwell.
Except for Lastwell. Well, his looks weird. He doesn't fit the mold.
Sure.
Okay,
Oh, come on.
this is Star Rending Claws. Obviously, it's got Vilk on it. I think this rendition of Vilk looks better than Vilk's sprite, so that's something.
Sure.
I've always felt like Vilk's sprite looks really like kind of blocky and bulky in a bad way. But
Especially his Brave Shift, which I think this is.
this is, yeah.
Oh, he's got his axe. In his right hand, he's got his axe.
He's got his axe, yeah.
So maybe it is his base then.
Either way, I think art wise this is fun. It's dynamic. You can see motion in it.
It's great art, and yet at the back of my mind, it's I can't remember the last time I used Will.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I use this card a lot more than I use Vilk. That's for sure. I like this less than I like like the Medina card or the Medina art.
Agreed.
But I'm trying to say
I like this. I'd say I'd like this less than Phantom Thief Zon.
Okay.
But about there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems good.
Yeah.
All right, let's grab it here.
Depending on the day you catch me, I might like that fishing Lastwell
No,
more than the
after
Vilk
after
card.
Zon.
Oh, after Zon.
After Zon, yeah. Okay.
Depending on the day, I might like the fishing Lastwell more. Just
We'll compromise.
I'd put them about the same. We just can't obviously do that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So this is the other parasite. This is the base form T-shirt Iabrea.
I'll at least put that at the top of C.
Yeah, I think it's about the same as the other one, honestly.
Yeah, I prefer it more than the other one. I would, well, I would say above Reagan personally, but
Yeah,
I know Barry's a fan.
I'll give it to you.
I agree with that. Definitely the top of C.
Oh, this is
Okay.
another one. This is another favorite.
Absolute S tier.
Yes.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. S tier for me.
No, I like it a lot. Definitely an S.
She's a favorite for a lot of reasons, like the original version and the Neovisions version. I love Summoners, and I think this card's beautiful. So wonderful artwork.
Artistically, I would have liked if they had like made accented, like highlighted it a bit more. Like make the highlighted parts more highlighted.
Yeah, I could see that.
A couple harder lines I would like as well, but I don't know. I love this card. I have nothing
maybe
to say.
an aura around her fox.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or maybe just more defined features.
Yep.
Okay, Amano. I mean,
yes.
Do we have a question?
Nope. I mean, how can you not put this in S?
You can't.
I also have the T-shirt.
Which I will never not be jealous about.
And I have that. This is another. I have a postcard of this as well. So I'm about this one. Yeah.
Above the.
Yeah, that's
for
fine.
me above Sylvie and Esther.
Okay,
that's fine.
That's good right there. All right.
I'll
Sold.
allow it.
I love this. I remember when they first showed that this was going to be a T-shirt that they were giving away, and I remember Flip saying on the live stream, like,
I just want to buy it.
Where can we buy it? Just let me buy this stupid shirt.
The fact that they've never let us buy any of the stuff
Yeah.
for this game other than art books, I'll never understand.
Yeah.
That might have kept the game alive longer.
There are definitely some things I would have bought for sure.
Easily.
White Dragonling, in her like Brave Shift form with her dramatic costume change.
Where did we put her other Ling art?
Okay, so there's two, right? Or no?
Oh, that was
it's in S tier right here between Esther and Luca.
The Anime Ling.
Anime Ling.
This is definitely worse than that.
Yes, I would say that. As much as I like this is worse than that.
Low A, high B.
Low A, worse than Sakura for sure.
Worse than Sakura. Yeah, I agree. I like this, and the card is fun. I used that card a lot when it first came out too. So, yeah, I'm a fan.
The Machine Killer buff?
No, it's not Machine. It's got a bunch of low.
Like
low
this the all 50s card?
Yeah, but it's got a castable ability, but the castable ability does like self only to like 4 different ones. They're all weak. But Machine is not one of them, sadly.
Yeah. To cast her.
Yep.
160.
Oh, that's
Aqua,
right.
Human, Dragonstone.
Yeah, it's really weird.
But it also has 50% mitigation to those races too.
Yes.
Physical and magic.
Yes, but it's also weird because why are you putting this on your tank?
Sure. But then it also has... Yeah, the stat distribution is wild on this card.
That's a very weird card, but the art.
Oh, this was the 2023 like anniversary card.
But now that you have Zahn, he can spread those.
True. If he's wearing this card, which is the problem.
Oh no, he can, or can't he? He'd be able to steal that, no?
I guess he could steal it. Yeah, good point. And I do be having Zahn.
Same.
Here's another generic white Moogle background. I'm going to put this with the other one. As cute as it is, probably just as good as the other one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Still better than Lastwell.
Yes. Doesn't take much. And of course, they gave us a desktop version as well.
Sure.
War of the Visions, the crossover card. So we get to see Rain standing next to Rain. And they both look like Rain.
They do.
Yeah.
I like it more than the Chizuru in C.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agree.
I would say that's fair.
I might like it more than the Ayabreas too.
Oh, I'll give you that. I do for sure.
Yeah,
At least more than the first Ayabrea, the dress one. Maybe not as much as the second. Yeah,
More than Reagan,
definitely
though.
more than Reagan. Yeah.
Okay, nice. The other monk twins.
They just disrespected one of the best units they ever came out with
Mm-hmm.
this art. I'm so upset about this.
Yeah, I don't love the faces again. There's something
No.
about the way the faces look on a lot of this style of art. These renditions. Yeah.
And the hands
I
are
almost feel
dumb.
like they didn't finish this. Like that it's not done, that there was more texturing and such that they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. There's no
Mm-hmm.
particle effects. There's no. I mean, obviously he's got like the turtle shell theme, but like there's nothing else going on here.
Yeah.
I think it's very boring. As exciting as this
A-
card should be,
yes.
I'm going to put it
Absolutely
with the other
disrespectful
ones.
to one of the best units that they ever came out with.
Let's put it with the other monks. We'll just put them side by side.
Sure.
Getting close to the end here. Yun?
I like this. Like it's an entertaining piece of art.
Yeah. It's dynamic.
My only issue is it doesn't really look like a chocobo.
It does not look like a chocobo at all. It looks like he's riding a war phoenix or something like that.
Which would be so sweet
Yeah.
if it wasn't supposed to be a chocobo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I
So
can't put it higher than B for that reason.
can't put it higher than B because the monster does not look like the monster it is. High C? Do we like this more than Iabrea, more than Mont and Rain?
I'd say more than Mont and Rain.
Yeah.
But not more than Iabrea. Okay.
No, I really like that eyebrow art.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That Ayabrea art on its own would be much higher if not for the pixel art with it.
Yeah. Xyrus looking more like Xyrus than Xyrus does.
Sure.
I like this actually. Yeah, I'll just lead with that. I think this is pretty cool. I would not be offended if this was on my phone and somebody saw it. I'd say probably somewhere in the B's for me.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, I was gonna say low A.
Low A.
yeah. I was gonna say just right under Phantom Thief Zahn's card because I like Zahn's better.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely in the B's. So I like it. And if I push next, yeah, that's it. That's the end of them. So as far as all the wallpapers go, that's all the ones that they've given us. So let me get this out of the way. We can take a look at our overall spread. Honestly, B ended up with the most, like you would expect. C and
Sure.
D are equal, and A and S are equal. So I guess that's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I would like to Golden Kupo Ellis Barris's card up to
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you the golden Kupo there.
Sure.
And I think I will. Let's see if there's any that I want to move. I will golden Kupo
Yeah.
Roberta.
Yeah.
Are there any woeful warks that we want to give out? Any that we just
Does anyone want to go first?
Which card do you hate the most? I can't make Regina
Before
any
someone else.
lower. And it's okay if you don't want to use your woeful wark, but I mean it's definitely your opportunity to troll somebody if you really want to. Like gosh, I really don't like okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna woeful wark Veritas of the Frost down to a C.
Oh, fair.
I'm gonna put it a high C. I'm not gonna do it too much, but I'm woeful working Veritas of the Frost
Sure.
because I don't like all the purple. As much as I love purple, I don't like all that purple.
Barry, do you have an idea?
I mean, I'm pretty content here.
Yeah, it's okay if you are. You don't have to use your woeful work. I just,
I think for myself, I will Woeful War mid down to B.
mid down to
Oh,
B. Okay,
wow.
how about that? Now's your chance. Now you can get back at him for it.
Oh no, I'm not that petty. No, I think if I'm gonna, I could woeful work, and I would woeful work Leviathan and Bismarck down to B.
This one here.
Yeah,
All right.
but no, much higher than that. God, don't be disrespectful. Above Ayaka for sure.
Okay. There you have it. There's our breakdown, our final breakdown of all of these wonderful wallpapers that we've been getting lately. Which it's a lot of content. It's a lot of wallpapers that we looked at. I feel pretty good about the distribution, and I really appreciate you guys taking some time to talk about them. Any last closing thoughts about the wallpapers, or do you think wallpapers are
I
good for the game, not good for the game, community?
it, it's a nice perk when it's in addition to content. Um, I'm still waiting for them to give us like an artful barrel card or even just a generic Tonberry. I would love it.
Ooh, so
That's
you
my favorite monster in the franchise.
yeah, that'd be really cool to get a nice artful representation of some of those fan designed units.
I will say the thing I like the most about this, just as a whole, is this art will last far and beyond what the game will.
True.
And so it's nice to have, these memories associated with the game. I just, it still just kind of makes you sad to look back on a lot of this and think, wow, there was a time when we were really excited about a lot of these things and they commemorated very specific events.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, just there was nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of bittersweet to go and look back on some of this stuff.
Well, and I think that's kind of where my problem is. Like, I love all these arts, even the ones that we put in the D. Some of them I think are good looking cards. They're just not our favorite, right? Or ones that we would
Sure.
want to have on our phone every day. But like most of them have some sort of story that is attached to it, and most of them, as we were talking about them, like ranking them, like we all had something to say about like when we used it or when it came out or what it reminds us of or backstory and lore and what's a precursor. Um, and all this stuff that like ties us into having played this game for as long as we have.
Hmm.
And for me, it's sad to see it go from like weekly content. And as I was going back and looking at these wallpapers and pulling these, like there was so much that they were announced with. It was like, hey, while you're doing this event, all these events, here's a wallpaper. And now it's just, hey,
Hmm.
here's a wallpaper. Hey, there's another wallpaper.
I remember even as far back, I think it was August last year, where there was one random week where we had so much content. It was so far out the norm. It was like 6 or 7 different things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
Hmm.
oh, is this going to be a change for the better? And are they like, they know we want content and it's going to keep up with that? And spoiler, it did
Yeah.
not. But
It really did kind of feel like anniversary last year was when it ended.
Yeah, it's
Because then it's been a very slow trickle.
very
Like
slow.
I feel ridiculous for our, year two complaints of how formulaic and predictable, the King Mog and then a raid and then your story event was every month. But
Yep.
now, I mean, I'd kill for a story event.
Story events, especially if they were remotely challenging instead of just auto attack. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Or lore
yeah,
focused things we
Lore.
cared about.
Mm.
I do miss when they had like it was like here's this little challenge event map and there were multiple
Mm,
stages. Each one had you had to use like 2 to 3 different elements.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
You know who was really
I
good
mean,
at
that's the way
those back in the
story
day
used
was
to be.
Kryla. Kryla was the
Oh, you're
best.
so right. Kryla was
Yes.
amazing at those.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Ah,
that's even how story used to be.
yeah.
Like, how many story stages do you probably still have to go back to and figure out how to use the skill maintenance?
None.
I don't even remember
Because
who gets
I'm
maintenance.
dorky like that and I've got them all.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I have so many of those, but not worth 10 lapis to me.
Uh-huh. To each their own.
Indeed.
I'm pretty sure I went out of my way to make sure I was able to clear all those as I went over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, compared to now where it's like, okay, story's released and you don't even have to look at your screen, you can just auto it.
Yep, pretty
You
much.
might have like Youth from Rabanastre Van can't clear this
Yep.
stage or this one enemy, so someone has to throw in an extra attack.
Yep. Those stupid season 4 bears, man. I'm telling you what.
Oh god. Well, fortunately, most of them aren't status immune, so you can just use Tidebringer Kaito and
True.
petrify him.
Very true. All right, guys. I'm gonna close us out here. So thank you so much for taking the time to rank these with us and have fun chatting. We will see everyone tomorrow for something. I guess stories coming out tomorrow.
Oh boy.
And just really quickly, are either of you interested in Lulu?
I will be happy to get her in a video summon, possibly throw a few tickets at her, but I'm kind of just waiting to see what even happens
Hmm.
towards anniversary.
Yeah,
So
hmm
makes sense.
I mean, I don't have any of the dark party other than Zon, so I guess now Dark Fina, who just
Yeah.
hit EX3 today in Shard Dungeon. But
Nice. Congrats,
like I don't
guys.
have Emeralda, I don't have Ffbe, I'm definitely, as much as I love Final Fantasy X, I'm not gonna pull for Dark or Light because I just don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard to say. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna do the video summons and then kind of go from there. I've got a couple pieces of dark, but not near as much as I do for light. So
Sure.
all right. Well, everybody have a really great night. And if you've been sticking around for this long, thanks so much for watching. I hope you appreciated what we had to say. What are some of your favorite wallpapers and arts? And would you change anything that we put? Let us know in the comments, and we will talk with everybody later.
Don't at me for the Esther card.